Single mom discovers a lost wallet mid-flight. The amazing choice she makes will inspire you. The plane's cabin buzzed with chatter, an orchestra of voices and shifting bodies. Among them sat Anna, a single mother, her heart weighed down by unrelenting responsibilities. At 35, she was a tightrope walker, balancing work as a waitress during the day and telemarketer by night. She kept a smile plastered on her face while trying to shield Lily, her spirited 10-year-old, from the harshness of their reality. As they flew toward a vacation that felt too extravagant yet desperately needed, the lack of funds for snacks gnawed at her. Missing soccer games and school events embedded in her memory a daily reminder of what weighed on her heart. She battled guilt like a soldier, determined to provide a brighter future. But what if this flight held the answer to their financial prayers? As the plane climbed, Anna felt the familiar flutter of anxiety twist in her stomach. Then, like a cruel twist of fate, a wallet tumbled from the seat pocket in front of her, landing squarely on her lap. She looked around nervously, instinct gripping her tightly as curiosity interfered with her moral compass. It belonged to a business executive, one of a high-ranking firm that had recently laid off friends and coworkers from their jobs, including her own. Inside was a substantial amount of cash and credit cards, enough to act like a lifeline, but with strings attached. The dilemma gnawed at her: keep the money that could secure Lily's college fund or return it as her conscience urged. Dishonesty could lift their burdens, but would it crush her? Lily, Anna whispered, casting a cautious glance at her daughter, content yet restless in her seat. The little girl's innocent curiosity bubbled over as she noticed her mother's quiet storm. "What's wrong, Mom?" "Just thinking," Anna replied, her heart racing, filled with conflicting thoughts. She focused on the wallet, its leather surface cool against her fingers. "Would you still love me if I did something wrong, just to get us what we need?" "Mom, I love you no matter what. But it's always best to do the right thing, right?" Lily's eyes sparkled with a wisdom beyond her years, as if her innocence could light a path Anna felt lost in. Deep within, Anna exploded with frustration. Angry thoughts flared. Yes, the executive's choices had cost many their livelihoods, including hers. What was right in such a brutal world? The agony surged. It wasn't just about her. The injustices they faced collided with her desire for a better life for Lily. A racing mind made it hard to breathe, and the weight of external judgment threatened to crush her. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As turbulence rocked the plane, she could almost hear her friends' voices of those laid off, echoing in her head, urging her to consider their lives, their struggles. A simmering anger swirled with desperation, forcing her to confront a terrifying question: to what lengths would she go for a future she desperately craved but couldn't seem to grasp? Moments felt like hours as she deliberated, her fingers lightly brushing the wallet. The light above her glowed a soft, crucial reminder: a decision lingered, heavy with consequences. But just as the flight attendant announced they would be landing soon, Anna's heart stopped when she recognized the executive standing in the terminal during their layover. This figure, imposing and powerful, stepped into her reality like a door swinging wide open. There he was, an embodiment of privilege and fate. Now, the moral weight of her discovery clashed head-on with the chance for a future change. What would Anna do? The answer eluded her, a decision that could transform everything. Anna's mind raced faster than the plane, every second steeped in conflicting emotions. She felt the cool leather of the wallet still clutched in her hand, a physical manifestation of her dilemma. As the plane taxied to a halt and the cabin light brightened, she couldn't shake the image of the executive's confident stride through the terminal. What if he recognized her? What if he remembered her name from the company where they'd both once existed in the same professional sphere? The possibility sent a chill down her spine. A flurry of passengers surged toward the exit, but Anna remained seated a moment longer, heart pounding. She wanted to check the wallet, to count every dollar, to validate the turn of fate that had dropped it in her lap. Yet, a mere glance at Lily, her bright eyes gleaming with anticipation at their destination, tethered Anna with an unyielding sense of accountability. Her daughter was her compass, her unyielding beacon of morality amid a storm of temptation. "Mom, can we go?" Lily's innocent eagerness broke through Anna's turmoil. "Yes, sweetie." She forced a smile and rose, pocketing the wallet but aware of how its weight now felt like a chain, binding her to yet another choice and consequence. As they made their way through the terminal, Anna spotted the executive stern and focused amidst the crowd. Remnants of their past life flickered in her memory: board meetings, late nights spent catching up on reports, the camaraderie shared over coffee breaks. The sight brought an unexpected surge of strength. Anna wasn't just a victim of economic crossfires, she had skills worth celebrating. In a sudden moment of clarity, she knew she could confront him. Not in the cloak of resentment nor with bitterness, but to rediscover her voice, a voice that had become muted through the grind of exhaustion and fear. The executive's head turned in her direction as she approached, a visual arsenal of uncertainty bolstered by determination. "Excuse me, sir," she began, her own voice sounding foreign yet empowering. "You dropped this." She extended the wallet, heart pounding with moral intensity, while the executive's eyes darted between the wallet and her. "Thank you," he said, a hint of surprise crossing his face. Most would have taken advantage. She absorbed his words, stinging yet affirming. This interaction wasn't merely another duty, it was a self-affirmation, a resistance against the constraints that bound her. "I'm Anna," she stated, grounding herself in the identity she had shied away from in recent months. "Michael." He extended a hand, and she felt the weight of unspoken understanding pass between them. "Can we sit down for a moment?" she proposed, surprising herself with the audacity. The executive looked taken aback before nodding. "Sure." They took seats at an empty cafe, and Anna's nerves bubbled, but something fierce ignited within her. This was her chance not just to reclaim a lost moment but to define her path ahead. "Why do you do it?" she asked him, piercing through the oppressive silence. "Lay off so many people?" He shuffled his coffee nervously. "It was not just my decision," he replied carefully, but Anna pressed on, motivated by the anger simmering beneath the surface. The conversation dug deep into corporate choices, ethical responsibilities, and the consequences of power. With each word exchanged, Anna felt her understanding expand, reshaping her perspective. Conflicts she thought solely hers began to reveal universal scars. In that moment, she realized she was not on an isolated journey. Each conversation, every experience she would choose moving forward, contained the potential to empower not just herself, but those around her, starting with her own daughter. As the discussion unfolded, Anna's confidence bloomed, sensing the vulnerability in Michael's responses. The executive was just a man, flawed like anyone else. She had shifted, redefined her narrative just by asserting her presence. A fire sparked. The fight for a better life for Lily could transform into something broader, a fight for dignity. That conversation became a turning point, the real beginning of her narrative, a moving forward that didn't solely hinge on financial struggles but on redefining what success meant for her family. But as they parted ways, exchanging numbers, an unsettling thought loomed. Would she be brave enough to follow through on the newfound ambition? Or would she retreat into the shadows of a relentless cycle that, despite its discomfort, felt all too familiar? With a flicker of doubt pooling within her, Anna knew the most challenging journey was merely beginning, a prism of possibilities waiting to unfold. The challenge grew sharper. Could she transition from confronting her circumstances to transforming them? The moment hung in the air, rife with uncertainty and hope. As she stepped back into the bustling terminal, she clutched Lily's hand tighter, feeling that defining moment seeping into her very core. How far was she willing to go to secure their dreams? The sun hung low in the sky as Anna and Lily emerged into the city's throng. The noise enveloped them, but within, Anna felt a determined silence, each step echoing her newfound conviction. Her mind replayed the conversation with Michael, punctuated by sharp realizations. She was not just a bystander in her life, she had a choice, a voice, and the capacity to build something even amidst adversity. They hailed a cab, and as the vehicle lurched forward, Anna's determination coalesced into an actionable goal. She envisioned a new project, something her heart yearned for, a website that authored personal finance advice from real experiences. It could serve as both an outlet for her own journey and a resource for those navigating financial uncertainty. "What are you thinking about, Mom?" Lily's innocent curiosity pulled Anna from her thoughts. "I'm just brainstorming some ideas," she replied, mustering a smile. Though the concept felt ambitious, as if it belonged to someone else, it ignited a flicker of excitement in her gut. Once home, Anna sat at the living room table, the remnants of dinner strewn about, and opened her laptop. There was a profound relief in finding the blank screen before her. The possibilities felt limitless. As her fingers danced over the keyboard, a question nagged at the back of her mind: what made her voice unique? She realized that it was her experiences, the ups and downs, the small victories and significant challenges. She wasn't merely a statistic, she was a storyteller. With focus sharpening, Anna began to write. The story of how a misfortune had transformed her life into a learning journey, a narrative threaded with lessons on budgeting, saving, and maintaining financial independence as a single mother. She poured her heart into each line, striking a delicate balance between authenticity and relatability. The hours slipped by, and soon the word count climbed, but so did her self-doubt. Would anyone care about her story? What if no one found her advice useful? The apprehension hovered. It was all too easy to spiral back into the habits of insecurity that had long plagued her. "Mom?" Lily peeked over, a drawing clutched in her hand. "Look what I made." The simple, colorful sketch of a house, adorned with flowers and a big sun, radiated a joy Anna felt seeping back into her soul. In that moment, she realized that while the world outside could feel daunting, her purpose had a much deeper foundation, one that existed in the love for her daughter. "It's beautiful, sweetie," Anna exclaimed. "You've captured everything that matters." With renewed vigor, she turned back to her screen. She began outlining a plan for the website, noting key sections that would address different aspects of financial literacy from her perspective. Each keystroke felt powerful, stripping away layers of doubt she had been wearing too long. This wasn't just a dream, it was a necessary step towards self-sufficiency, for both her and Lily. However, the looming pressure of logistics struck next. Could she finance this venture? Build it while still attending to Lily's needs? The weight of these realities began to dim the exhilaration, a familiar sense of exhaustion creeping in. Lily's laugh cut through the tension, reminding Anna of the lightness they could still embody together. "Mom, can we make cookies?" "Absolutely," Anna replied, shutting her laptop with a sigh, but not without a resolve to return to it soon. Baking cookies became an antidote, allowing her to nurture both her ambitions and her daughter. As flour dusted the kitchen counter, and sweet scents wafted through the air, Anna allowed herself to dream once more. She envisioned community workshops, where she could share her insights directly. The challenge was not just achievable, it felt inevitable. But with each budding idea came the haunting question: how would she balance it all? Soon, the sun disappeared, leaving the evening infused with ambition and doubt. Anna held on to that clarity she had gained that day, but knew the path would be riddled with obstacles. Would she find the strength to navigate them, or would the weight of responsibility stifle her progress? The cookies cooled on the rack, and as she breathed in their warmth, the tension shifted, inviting new possibilities. The moment arrived for her to create that identity she had begun reclaiming. She grasped her phone, staring at Michael's number, pulse quickening with apprehension. Perhaps it was time to reach out, to seek guidance she had long thought unreachable, recognizing it as another step forward not just for her but for Lily, too. With resolve deepening, she dialed, uncertain yet emboldened. Would someone who had once seemed so powerful be willing to help a single mother find her footing in a world she had barely begun to reconstruct? The call rang, and Anna's heart raced, a mix of fear and exhilaration surging. The ringing echoed in her ears, each chime a reminder of her decision. She held her breath, waiting, each second stretching uncomfortably. Anna had never fancied herself someone who reached out for help. She had built walls around her fragility, fortified with the bricks of past disappointments. But now, she was dismantling them, piece by piece. "Hello?" Michael's voice resonated through the line, steady and warm. "Hi, Michael." "It's Anna," she said, feeling the weight of her own name. It wrapped around her, defining her anew. "I wanted to talk to you about some ideas I have." "Sure. What's on your mind?" His enthusiasm felt disarming. "I'm thinking about starting a personal finance website," she said, finding her voice somewhere in the void between her chest and her brain. The words started to flow, confidence feeding off the calmness of his tone. "I want it to be based on real experiences, you know? Like how I learned to budget better after losing my job." "That's a fantastic idea. Sharing personal stories makes it relatable," he replied, the momentum building between them. Anna could hear the scribbles of pen on paper as he took notes. "How can I help? How do I even begin?" she confessed, vulnerability creeping in. "I have no experience with building a website, and I'm worried I won't meet expectations." "Let's break it down," Michael suggested, his strong presence grounding her thoughts. They spoke through logistics, marketing strategies, and the mechanics of creating engaging content. The way he guided her through seemed effortless, illuminating the how behind her what. Little by little, her fears began to recede, replaced with an invigorating sense of purpose. After the call ended, Anna sat quietly at the kitchen table, her heart fluttering wildly. It was exhilarating to take such a tangible step, yet daunting to consider how many more awaited her. What if she failed? What if her efforts amounted to nothing? But even as those questions lurked, one resolute thought distinguished itself: she was no longer alone. For the first time, she felt a glimmer of a support structure forming, one that tethered her to possibilities beyond the confines of her daily routines. As the evening settled, Anna turned her attention back to the laptop. She pulled up a blank document and stared, her fingers poised to type but hovering in hesitation. The lack of text was not blankness, it was potential. She began to draft sections of her website: budgeting basics, smart saving tricks, and financial resilience. Each category felt like a heartbeat, echoing her growing resolve. Yet aplomb turned to uncertainty when reality doused her excitement. She recalled the strict budgeting she had been wrestling with for years. A turn of fate had stripped her of income and forced a re-evaluation of her financial capabilities. Was a website even feasible? After a moment, she opened a new tab and researched costs, domain registration, hosting, and design templates. Each number felt like a boulder she couldn't lift alone. Suddenly, Lily's laughter sliced through the air, pulling Anna from the depths of her thoughts. "Mom! Come see what I can do in the backyard." She rushed outside, her daughter's radiant spirit a vibrant contrast to Anna's swirling doubts. With a deep breath, Anna stepped outside to the glow of the late afternoon sun. She watched as Lily chased butterflies, her innocence a reminder of the life that was uniquely theirs. The bittersweet satisfaction of that moment struck her. This sight wasn't just for her, it was a legacy for Lily. A path she hoped would lead them into a brighter future. But as the shadow of evening fell, the gnawing questions returned. Could she safely navigate crushing expectations and erratic responsibilities? Would there be time for her dreams while giving Lily the attention she required? The idea of failing felt heavier with the weight of her daughter's eyes upon her, urging her to succeed. With determination hardening in her chest, Anna returned indoors. The thought of letting her daughter down provoked a deeper urgency to craft her path. The moment had arrived to craft not just a website but a narrative of resilience. She pulled out a notepad, ready to sketch the mission statement, build a legacy rooted in authenticity and empowerment. As the last rays of sun dipped below the skyline, another realization struck her. It wasn't just about economic survival, it was also a journey toward discovering herself. But without a clear direction, how could she embark on this transformative quest? She grasped her phone once more, contemplating who else in her expanding circle might offer insights. The allure of reaching out set in motion a different kind of courage. Before she could second-guess herself, she dialed another number, her pulse racing with uncertain hope. What if this next call could unlock further potential she hadn't yet imagined? Would this be the support she needed to conquer the financial labyrinth that lay ahead? The phone rang, a steady din that pulled Anna from her swirling thoughts. Each ring felt like a heartbeat, a prompt that she needed this connection to fulfill her ambition. It wasn't just about the website anymore, it was a test of her newfound resolve. Her heart raced not just from the prospect of a supportive voice, but from the fear of exposure that came with seeking guidance. "Hello?" A familiar voice answered, bright and inviting. "Hey, Carla." "It's Anna," she said, trying to inject enthusiasm into her words but unsure if it highlighted her eagerness or her nervousness. "Anna. What is going on?" "I'm working on this personal finance website idea." She paused, gathering her courage to articulate her dreams and insecurities. "Can I get your advice? You've always been great with marketing." "Absolutely. Tell me everything," Carla responded, her genuine interest lighting a small fire in Anna's chest. Thus began a conversation that would unravel Anna's tightly held perceptions of her own abilities. As she spoke about her concept, breaking it into digestible pieces under Carla's inquiries, Anna began to visualize the silhouette of her future more clearly. The more she shared, the clearer her path became. The questions Carla posed were deeper than logistics, they probed her motives and philosophies. "Why finance?" Carla asked after a thoughtful pause. Anna considered it, grappling with the intersection of her story and purpose. "Because it matters. It's not just about numbers, it's how we handle life's unexpected turns. I want to share what I've learned, so others don't feel trapped." "Inspiring," Carla replied. "Use that. Right from that place. People resonate with feeling over facts." As they brainstormed angles for articles and personal stories that would resonate, Anna felt invigorated, as if she were peeling layers off an old paint job, revealing vibrant colors underneath. Her insecurities slowly transformed into ideas, slowly piecing together a larger picture. However, just beneath the surface of inspiration, fear lurked. What if her real-life experience didn't translate well into written words? What if she poured her heart into the site only to find that no one cared? The echoes of her self-doubt danced at the edges of her mind, but she fought against it. This was a battle of identity, one where she was choosing to step into the light rather than remain in the shadows. No more alone. No more hiding her potential. After the call ended, Anna sat in silence, the remnants of the conversation swirling around her. She felt herself on the brink of something remarkable, standing ankle-deep in possibility. The sun dipped even further, casting a golden hue that flickered through the window, illuminating the makeshift workspace she had created. With renewed vigor, she opened her notebook. Each word she wrote felt heavier, the weight of her aspirations filling the pages. Overcoming financial obstacles, finding joy in budgeting, and teaching kids about money flowed effortlessly from her pen. She felt empowered, it was time to tap into her authentic voice. The rhythm of progress was intoxicating, but equally frightening. The constant tug-of-war between ambition and self-imposed limitations became clearer. She lay awake that night, staring at the ceiling, wrestling with doubts that began to revisit her. What if she couldn't manage the balance between the website and being a mother? Her phone buzzed to life, jolting her from self-doubt. A message from Michael read, "Hey. I was thinking, have you considered collaborating with others in your niche? Networking could really expand your reach." Collaboration, the word echoed with promise and apprehension. The idea of sharing her space with others made her heartbeat quicken. Would it dilute her voice? Or would it fortify her mission, introduce her to resources she hadn't yet considered? Anna recognized it wasn't just about her anymore, it was about building a community of learning. But who could she trust? The web of connections felt daunting, layering complexity upon complexity. These were decisions layered with risk. Those early nightmares of failure revisited her, clouding the excitement she had welcomed earlier. How could she step forward in a world where the stakes were so high? As dawn crept in, armed with the fresh uncertainties, Anna resolved to face the day with renewed commitment, driven by curiosity and perhaps, a spark of hope. The financial labyrinth no longer felt terrorizing but instead an adventure waiting to unveil itself. But who would be her partners in this exploration? The tapestry of connections began weaving in her mind, fueling her next query: which relationships would propel her forward, and who might prove to be a hindrance? The choices loomed like shadows beneath the morning light, beckoning her to navigate the unfolding journey ahead. The morning sun cascaded through the kitchen window, illuminating the cluttered table where Anna sat buried in her notes. Each page was filled with ideas and sketches, yet her mind drifted to the weighty prospect of collaboration. Could she really put her ideas out there, inviting the input of others? The thought both excited and petrified her. Exhaling slowly, she shuffled through her notes. On one sheet, she had jotted down names, bloggers, local financial experts, even authors whose work had influenced her. Beneath each name, she pondered their potential contribution but doubted her ability to initiate those conversations. What if they dismissed her? What if they laughed? In a world where imposter syndrome loomed like a cloud, other people's validation felt vital. But as she hesitated, Anna recalled Carla's words about authenticity. What if she posed her ideas confidently? What if her perspective brought something of value to the table? She took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and envisioned the impact her site could have. It could empower single parents struggling with finances, inspire those paralyzed by debt, and educate children about money in a fun, engaging way. Grabbing her phone, she started typing. A message to Michael would be the first step, he had already extended a hand. After composing a succinct invitation, she hit send. There, it was done, a ripple set in motion. The day passed in a flurry of activity. Between preparing lunch for Sam and washing piles of laundry, Anna sharpened the structure of her website. Each completed task felt like a fundamental building block. Yet, all the while, she grappled with anxiety about the responses to her outreach. Would this lead to the collaboration she sought or unearth new insecurities? Later that evening, she found herself scrolling through a local Facebook group dedicated to personal finance. With a racing heart, Anna crafted a post outlining her vision and calling for collaborators who aligned with her mission. Her fingers trembled over the keyboard as she pressed post. The rush of vulnerability sent her pulse racing while waves of fear washed over her. But almost immediately, notifications began to ping. Comments appeared in response to her heartfelt message, welcoming her idea and offering support. The realization blossomed within her: people were eager to connect. No longer alone in her ambition, Anna felt a flicker of hope ignite something new within her, an increasing awareness that perhaps she wasn't an imposter after all. As days passed, new connections blossomed. One night, she found herself on a video call with a fellow finance blogger named Lena. They shared their stories, laughter bubbling through their words while discussing strategies and goals. Lena possessed experience that Anna lacked but offered a willingness to learn from her as well. The synergy sparked creativity, they marveled at the powerful potential of combining their voices. Amid the exchange, Anna's inhibitions began to dissolve. She confronted her doubts head-on, feeling exhilaration replace hesitation. The fear of inadequacy remained but began to feel manageable, even motivating. She was building something meaningful, not only for herself but for others navigating similar challenges. Before they signed off, Lena shared a thought that resonated deeply with Anna: your unique experience is your strength. We do what we do to reach people, that intent is what makes it all worthwhile. As the screen dimmed and Anna reclined on the couch, she mulled over Lena's words. For the first time, she imagined her stories reaching others not as mere numbers on a website, but as personal connections. Engaging with readers, encouraging them to share their stories. The concept of vulnerability transformed into camaraderie. Yet, as the thrill of progress warmed Anna's spirit, a sudden chill swept through her. She envisioned the possible fallout of sharing her story, the fears of judgment and ridicule creeping back in. Would opening up become her downfall, or would it elevate her message even higher? All progress felt like stepping onto thin ice, the anticipation of falling loomed ahead. Suddenly, her phone buzzed again, this time with a message from Michael, suggesting a virtual meetup with other finance enthusiasts in the area. Unsure whether to welcome this prospect or retreat into safe obscurity, Anna grappled with her response. Would this meeting enrich her journey or highlight her shortcomings? With the looming decision ready to tip the scale, Anna felt the gravity of her upcoming choice pressing down on her shoulders. Was it time to leap again? Anna sat at the edge of her bed, her phone's screen illuminating her troubled expression. Michael's invitation to the virtual meetup hung in the air like a challenging dare. As the minutes ticked by, she weighed the pros and cons. Dipping into the unknown filled her with a conflicting blend of excitement and dread. What if everyone else there overshadowed her? The thought of being viewed as a novice once again gnawed at her insides. Yet, the idea of exchanging ideas with people who genuinely understood her struggles and aspirations began to outweigh her fears. They could offer insights and experiences that might elevate her understanding and skills. She imagined being inspired, sparking new ideas that could enrich her purpose. Determined to quell her doubts, Anna lifted her phone, her fingers hovering over the screen. Her camera roll lit up with snapshots of her family, her son Sam beaming with joy. He was a powerful motivator, the driving force behind her ambitions. She could begin a conversation not just to further her ideas, but to create a better future for him. Taking a deep, fortifying breath, she typed a quick reply to Michael, confirming her attendance. Immediately, a rush of resolve coursed through her, as though she had just completed a sprint. She was doing this not only for herself but also for Sam. As the day unfolded, Anna dove deep into preparations for the meeting. She combed through her notes, summarizing her thoughts and potential contributions. The act of preparation turned her anxiety into focused energy. Every bullet point was a piece of knowledge she wanted to share, not just a testament to her expertise but a way of declaring her presence in the community. That evening, she donned her favorite blouse, opting for a confident, polished look that made her feel capable. She set up her laptop and positioned the camera to catch her best side while allowing a glimpse of the cozy chaos of her living room, a testament to both her dedication and her life as a single mom. With each passing minute, her heart raced, anticipation swelling within. When the meeting began, the chat buzzed with greetings and excited exchanges. Anna felt a warmth envelop her as she listened to others share their stories, each weaving a rich tapestry of struggles, victories, and dreams. The initial wave of nervousness washed away as she realized they were just like her, individuals pursuing their passions while grappling with insecurities. Then came the time for her to speak. Released from the grip of fear, Anna shared her ideas. She articulated her vision of serving single parents and helping families navigate financial complexities. As she spoke, the audience engaged actively, nodding and reacting positively to her insights. With each word, she discovered her voice steadily gaining strength, unraveling the preconceived notion that she was merely an imposter in a sea of authority. After her segment, she opened the floor for questions and comments. To her surprise, the feedback was overwhelmingly supportive, encouraging even. Participants expressed interest in collaborating, connecting through shared aspirations. Their responses sparked a sense of belonging that she hadn't anticipated. As the meeting closed, Anna felt rejuvenated. She had not just connected with others but had opened a door to potential partnerships that could amplify her efforts. For the first time, she realized she was contributing meaningfully, and her authenticity resonated with others. Reflecting on the night, Anna lay in bed, replaying the affirmations from the meeting in her mind. Each kind word echoed, building her confidence. But alongside the exhilaration lingered the question that gnawed at her, a sense of urgency she couldn't shake. What direction should she take next? Would this newfound support challenge her to push beyond her comfort zone, opening up opportunities of growth she hadn't envisioned? The weight of that uncertainty hung over her, and she knew she had a choice to make. Just then, a notification pinged on her phone. It was a direct message from Lena, asking about a potential collaboration on a project that involved storytelling through finance. With a knot of excitement and trepidation tightening in her stomach, Anna felt the horizon expand before her. Should she take this leap of faith and dive headfirst into an unfamiliar realm? The roots of self-doubt tangled with the branches of possibility, leaving her on the brink of another decision. Would she embrace this opportunity, or would the fear of failure pull her back into inertia? The moment for yet another leap was approaching, and Anna stood at the edge, heart pounding, ready to jump. Anna woke the next morning with a sense of exhilaration tinged with uncertainty. The message from Lena replayed in her mind, its implications unfurling like an intricate origami. A collaboration focusing on storytelling and finance, two arenas that seemed almost destined to clash and yet blend seamlessly into something profound. It was a chance to take a concept she was passionate about and mold it into a reality. But would she be able to translate her vision into a viable project? As she poured herself a steaming cup of coffee, her thoughts drifted to the meetup from the night prior. The electric atmosphere and affirmations had propelled her forward, igniting that dormant spark of ambition. She could feel the momentum brewing within her, a fire that had long been dormant now roaring to life. Yet, at the same time, anxiety coiled back in. What if she stumbled in this new venture? What if her ideas fell flat? The internal dialogue became increasingly strident, filled with what-ifs that threat to undermine her newfound courage. Tuning into this self-critical voice, Anna decided it was essential to reframe her approach. Instead of viewing these questions as daunting, what if she transformed them into stepping stones for growth? Each what-if could serve not as a barrier, but as a guidepost identifying the areas requiring thought and strategy. Anna made a conscious choice, reaching for her laptop and creating a list of pros and cons regarding the collaboration with Lena. The list started small but expanded rapidly. Pros: potential for influence, expanding her network, blending storytelling with finance, making a tangible difference for families, and honing her skills. Cons: fear of failure, pressure to perform, potential time commitment with her responsibilities at home. Setting the laptop aside, she revisited the memory of Sam, his laughter, the way he looked up at her with wide-eyed admiration. If she were to fall, what would he learn about resilience? What message would he receive about pursuing one's dreams? With newfound energy, Anna reached out to Lena, expressing her enthusiasm for the collaboration. She envisioned brainstorming sessions filled with creative sparks, and the potential of crafting something innovative. Digital storytelling didn't merely inform, it offered empathy, connection, and understanding, qualities she yearned to amplify in her work. The response was swift. Lena was equally eager to get started. They set a time to meet virtually for deeper discussions. Anna felt a sense of responsibility wash over her, not just to herself but to Sam, and to those families she wanted to uplift. The weight of this desire settled in her chest, stirring determination within her. In the days that followed, each moment of doubt was met with action. She began compiling resources, researching successful storytelling frameworks, and drafting out ideas for their project. Anna spent hours immersed in literature and the digital world, learning the methodologies behind effective storytelling. Each new piece of information fueled her confidence, revealing competencies she hadn't anticipated lurking beneath the surface. Yet as the project details sharpened, another aspect loomed, the delicate balance of being a single mother while diving headfirst into this initiative. The time she allocated to work was increasingly juxtaposed with moments she cherished with Sam. Would he understand if she became more absorbed in her project? Would he feel neglected? The impending guilt rose like a tide, threatening to overwhelm her resolve. A pivotal moment arose during a weekend when Anna had set aside a specific afternoon for work. Sam, brimming with joy, pulled her into a game he had created. Torn between her laptop and his laughter, Anna confronted her next hurdle, finding harmony in both roles. Could she weave her project around him, enlist him in the process, making it a shared journey rather than a conflicting one? As she pondered this dilemma, Anna felt both empowered and unsettled. The choice loomed ahead, demanding both personal and professional sacrifices. Would she find a way to make the collaboration work without losing precious moments with Sam? The answer remained elusive, refusing to clarify as the clock continued to tick toward her first official meeting with Lena. Resilience was necessary, and Anna paused, a deep breath punctuating her thoughts. Personal growth demanded that she balance commitment and self-care, that she acknowledge her roles without losing herself along the way. And just as clarity began to settle in, her phone chimed again. This time, it was a message from Michael, wondering if she'd be interested in joining another project. Before she could fully process the implications, a ripple of panic surged through her. The stakes had dramatically shifted, and as the doors opened wider, the question surged: would she embrace these multiplying opportunities, or retreat into solitude, overwhelmed by the choices before her? Anna couldn't shake the wave of uncertainty that crashed over her like a sudden storm. The message from Michael felt more than just an inquiry, it symbolized a crossroads. Each opportunity gleamed temptingly, yet they loomed like shadows, threatening to engulf her light. She pressed her fingertips to her temples, seeking clarity that seemed to retreat just out of reach. The Zoom call with Lena was approaching, yet Anna found her mind racing through all the scenarios that could unfold. She had come so far, transforming doubt into action, but now the prospect of juggling another project induced a tightness in her chest. She moved absently around her kitchen, preparing a light snack while her thoughts spun wildly. What if she said yes to Michael's project and failed to deliver on Lena's? Would taking on more dilute her passion? Conversations from the meetup echoed in her mind, those voices of encouragement urging her to seize the moment. But those voices were drowned out by a more insidious whisper: what if she let everyone down? Focus, Anna, she muttered to herself, gripping the counter for steadiness. With impulse battling deliberation, she tried to find a constructive outlet for her anxiety. Perhaps she could frame each opportunity as a chance to test her boundaries rather than threats to her stability. This shift in perspective could unravel the fear that had woven itself into her psyche. Taking a deep breath, she set her snack aside and turned back to her laptop, where she had begun drafting an outline for the collaboration with Lena. She opened a new document and wrote Michael's project at the top, pausing to gather her thoughts before laying them on the page. Could there be a way to integrate both projects into a single overarching vision? As she brainstormed, her creativity blossomed. The possibilities expanded. What if she could create a narrative bridge connecting storytelling and financial literacy? Anna began poring over the ideas, jotting down descriptions of how both projects could intertwine, how her experience as a mother could enrich the narrative of financial empowerment. While she felt exhilarated by these new concepts, a sharp pang of guilt reminded her of Sam. She had meant to dedicate this weekend to him, to fostering joy and creativity within their shared time. The tension between ambition and motherhood pressed down on her sternly. Would her drive to succeed in her professional life overshadow the simplicity of these moments? With heavy deliberation, Anna called out to Sam, inviting him into the room. He bounded in, eyes sparkling with excitement. "Mom! Let us play that game we made up." She hesitated, the words of ambition battling against her instinct to engage with him. But something shifted within her as she looked at his freckled face. A brimming energy echoed in the laughter that once again filled her home. "Okay, let us review the rules together," she exclaimed, choosing to prioritize their playful collaboration without sacrificing her own creative pursuits. As they immersed themselves in the game, Anna began to recognize the essence of these moments: not lost time, but investment. She could bring Sam into her world, engaging him in storytelling, asking him questions that would inform her research in a playful way. He could help bring her professional aspirations into life. The next day approached, the day of her meeting with Lena. With a clearer vision, Anna felt a surge of determination. She balanced the two projects in her mind, picturing how they could amplify each other rather than conflict. Yet, just as she began to feel confident, Michael's message reappeared on her screen, looming large. "Let us discuss this further," she typed back resolutely, her heart racing at the prospect of another commitment. But as she hit send, the weight of her decision bore down again. Would she truly be able to uphold both? The risk felt palpable, like a coin poised on the edge. And then the message came through, a simple inquiry from Lena: "Are you ready to explore our ideas further together?" In that moment, Anna faced an unexpected realization: embracing multiple opportunities might be the challenging pivot she needed. Could this leap of faith lead to a greater understanding of herself and her aspirations, or would it prove to be her downfall? The prospect both thrilled and terrified her. In the face of this burgeoning intersection, she took a deep breath and smiled. The moment had arrived to stretch beyond her limitations and discover who she truly was in this new chapter of her life. The upcoming week felt electric as Anna embraced her dual commitments, an unlikely duo that sparked curiosity and self-discovery. The meeting with Lena transformed into a vibrant exchange of ideas. Anna prepared thoroughly, her heart racing with enthusiasm. She envisioned how their collaboration could illuminate paths for those similarly navigating financial uncertainties. Each discussion rippled with passion. She shared snippets from her experience, fearless in her intent to craft a narrative sewn with threads of authenticity. During their second meeting, Anna proposed integrating real-life stories from their audience into the website design, rendering guidance through relatable experiences. Lena's eyes lit up as she realized that Anna's intuition could be at the helm of the project's direction. They strategized about capturing personal journeys in finance, building a platform where readers both learned and identified with the content, and empowering synthesis of finance and storytelling. Anna's self-worth swelled as Lena validated her vision. "We need real voices in the finance sector, and that includes yours, Anna," Lena said, affirming what Anna had begun to suspect: her experiences mattered. After their meeting, Anna felt transformed. No longer merely a contributor to her own life story, she began to see herself as an architect of change, capable of influencing others. The entire project felt like an expansion of her identity, strength unfurling into confidence parallel to her mother's instincts nurturing her personal life. That evening, as she sat with Sam, their crafting session shifted to include elements from her new partnership. They painted posters adorned with messages about financial literacy interspersed with drawings of family adventures. She could feel visions of her ambitions merging beautifully with the laughter shared over each stroke. "What if we made a poster about saving?" she asked, inviting his innocent creativity into part of her greater purpose. Sam beamed as he engaged, weaving ideas into their art that blended playful aesthetics with foundational lessons. Empowered by such moments, Anna placed her phone back in her pocket, resolved to respond to Michael's inquiry. Engaging his project might extend her responsibility but could also amplify her mission. As she texted him, her pulse quickened, not from nervousness, but exhilaration. This outreach could mean recognition that spread wider. Days turned into a whirlwind as Michael responded, suggesting a casual coffee chat to explore ideas further at a nearby cafe. Anna felt a knot of anticipation unfurl. The thought of making a decision so significant excited her. Over coffee, they delved into topics of mutual interest, discovering shared values that deepened their connection. Michael recognized Anna's contribution as valuable and encouragingly discussed areas where her insight could enhance his vision. Still grappling with a careful balance, Anna began to allocate her time more thoughtfully. She curated hours dedicated to Sam, merging his energy with her ambitions, bringing forth creativity that felt fresh and essential. Together they baked, created projects, and engaged in dialogue, embedding learning in moments of fun. The seamless blend of motherhood and professional pursuits began to feel less like a juggling act and more like a dance. Her thoughts flowed fluidly between optimization of her ambitions and cherishing familial moments. Anna's blossoming confidence saw her pulling deeper from her own reserves and recognizing the inherent value of collaboration, not just with Lena and Michael but with Sam. Power and vulnerability intertwined through their shared growth. Weeks flew by, and soon a launch event for the website drew near. The buzz around Anna felt palpable, a shift from internal doubt to external validation. "You're about to make waves," Lena whispered as they previewed the platform together, waves of anticipation coursing through them both. Each article represented not merely facts but real struggles, culminating into stories worth sharing. On the evening before the launch, Sam modeled a poster they'd crafted while Anna prepared content for the website. Painter's tape held vibrant hues across the living room, remnants of their combined creativity. As Anna shared snippets of her finance guide with her son, he returned with the prompt, "Will other kids read it too?" "Absolutely," she affirmed, her voice buoyed by the moment's significance. "It's for all our friends, to help them learn just like we're learning." That night, Anna fell asleep with a heart full of gratitude and anticipation, feeling liberated from her once confining boundaries. By choosing to embrace both her roles as a mother and a creator, she confirmed appending the narrative of doubt and stepping into a defining era of personal growth. The day of the launch arrived, and as Anna watched the website go live, her heart soared. The depth of her journey illuminated before her. She took the stage before an audience of supportive faces. "This is more than just a website," she said in her opening remarks, "it's a connection through shared experiences where each story influences another's path." The applause that erupted filled her with validation that transcended the fear that had loomed so long. But more than the success was the realization that she had transformed. She no longer viewed herself within the confines of her past, an overworked single parent struggling under the heavier burdens of doubt. Instead, Anna stepped onto a new path, one that braced change, intersectionality, and community, fueled by her passion for financial literacy and storytelling. As the evening wrapped, Anna felt a surge of clarity. Every moment, whether covered in joy or anxiety, had woven her into who she was meant to be. Each answer she sought came from within, a reflection of resilience and capability both as a mother and a trailblazer. Anna returned home, her heart steady. With Sam by her side, they embraced the calm of their neighborhood. She grasped the duality of her journey where aspirations met authenticity, illuminated by connections forged with a purpose. "Mom, I'm proud of you," Sam said softly as they settled in for a family evening. "Thank you, buddy. I'm proud of us." The simplicity of that moment encapsulated their journey. They united not through hardship but through boundless possibilities. As Anna basked in this realization, a proud smile spread across her face. She'd achieved not just recognition, she had embraced growth, a radical transformation echoing through every corner of her life. This was only the beginning. Join the journey toward your own transformation. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive emotional stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Your support matters. Comment your reactions and theories about the ending. Let us engage. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this conclusion. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait even one more second. Get involved and empower the narrative of overcoming challenges together.